Ladies and gentlemen, the players of the thing. With your host, Judy Sleed. Special guest, Tony Marr, world-famed, unconvicted felon. Now here's Judy.
I'm with a felon. I don't know if I should be afraid.
Accused, unconvicted.
Okay. Well, Tony, this is your second time on my show, and I'm wondering whether we should continue where we left off, or would it be too embarrassing?
I have no idea where we left off. But please, it's your show.
Yes.
So far, I plan on taking it back from you in just a few moments. But yeah, thank you for having me back.
Yes, we had a great time last time, and I posted you on YouTube, and oh, it's becoming world famous. How many viewers?
Infamous, yes.
Infamous.
Yeah.
Well, you are a delightful person, and I hope you'll never go to jail, because I would miss you.
I hope I'll never go to jail too. But I'm glad you had me back. My mom, when you told me that it was on YouTube, I was in Florida with my mother, and so I logged onto the computer and took a look at it and showed it. I was so excited to show it to my mom that her youngest son had finally made the big time, and I posted it. I showed it to my mom, and all she could talk about was the fact that I was wearing a T-shirt on. So she was very upset. So today I got out a button-down shirt, and Mom, this is for you. So
you look lovely.
Thank you.
I mean, you look like...
Well, I need a haircut now. But
yeah. Well, you look at my hair. I go to the beauty salon.
Your hair is
Lupita.
beautiful. It looks delicious. Looks like sherbet. It looks like some vanilla sherbet.
Oh,
Yeah.
well...
Everything's food related with me. So
yes, well, I'm going to send you to my hairdresser, to Lupita in East Hampton.
I've heard of Lupita.
Very lovely,
Yes.
wonderful. And
We just gave her a plug too, which is good.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
I have her on my credits.
I thought that maybe that's where I'd heard her.
Because she won't allow me to come on the show, because if my name is on it, you have to come and have your hair done before you go do a show.
So you've got hair and makeup covered. That's very smart, Judy. Judy, you're a very smart woman, aren't you?
Yes.
Very crafty.
Well, now everybody knows it. I'm so glad you said that, because up till now, no one knew that I was.
You were smart, but you were privately smart.
Yes.
Yes. You were hiding your light under a bushel or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Last time I wore a red sequin jacket. You were fascinated with that.
More than shoes, you wore the great Judy Garland
Yes.
shoes that were just terrific. I couldn't. They were sparkling. I couldn't take my eyes off them. Yeah, they were great.
And I was thinking of wearing it again, and I said, no, I can't do that to Tony. So I'm wearing gray.
Okay.
Sparkling gray.
Well, gray goes with the weather. It's wintertime right now, and it's sort of a gray day, and so it's befitting our East End winters. So yeah.
So what are you up to nowadays?
Well,
besides hiding from the police.
As I told you, I was in. I understand this will get aired more than once, but I just returned from Indianapolis, where I was watching the Super Bowl, so I was very excited about that, and I was glad to be able to make it back in time for my big return to the plays the thing. But it was quite a trip. I had to fly out Sunday morning and meet up with my brother, and we watched the game, and very excited. I know you're a big football fan.
My son is.
Your son is. He's the one in Texas.
But he's here now.
He's here now. Right, because he's no longer working with Costas.
He is working with Costas.
He's working with Costas, but he's working with Costas here now.
Yes.
Interesting, because NBC did the Super Bowl, so we were seeing lots of NBC personnel down there.
Yeah.
Running around, and he was not in Indianapolis. No.
No, he was not. He's soon.
Soon. Okay. Well,
We're not going to discuss.
let's not send him to Indianapolis because it's over. There's no reason to go to
Yeah.
Indianapolis anymore. And I can't say Indianapolis, so I should probably.
Why not?
I just because it doesn't seem to roll off the tongue very well for me. In any case, I'm glad to hear he's back, though. That's nice. When I live here, my mom lives in Florida, my brother lives in California. My family is the diaspora is spread out. My
Yes.
sister's in Arizona, and the family, you know, where we all were in one little place back 25 years ago. Now we're spread out around the country, probably for the best. Although, when they're gone, I miss them. When they're here, I don't miss them that much. But when they're gone, I miss them.
And you're the designated ambassador.
I am. Well, I'm the baby. I'm you know a little
Yeah.
old to be called a baby, but I am
No,
the
I
youngest.
call my son the baby.
Yeah.
He's the baby.
Does he appreciate it?
Well, now he's more understanding since he has children. He used to hate it.
Yeah, I lived up to it or lived down to it all the time. I was always the baby. I act like a baby. I cry like a baby, and I whine like a baby. So it made perfect sense.
You're in
But
the
I am
right
the youngest.
place.
I'm in the right place, and I am incontinent actually sometimes like a baby as well. But yeah. So the ambassador. You asked me if I was the ambassador for my family. When you're the youngest, this is something. Do you have brothers and sisters? Are you? No. When you're the youngest, it behooves you to make sure everybody's happy.
Is that, no, I think you just made that your goal in life.
You're very astute. I'm only feeling comfortable when everybody in the room feels comfortable first.
Well, I'm the same way.
Is that right?
Yes.
And why do you think that is?
I'm just a caring person, maybe too much. Maybe we should form a club.
Well,
Caring Anonymous.
I think I'm self-centered. Is the thing is, I'm frightened easily, and I'm skittish. So if somebody's unhappy, it goes back to when I was young and I was the smallest one. If somebody's unhappy, eventually they're going to take it out on me. They're going to beat the hell out of me, and then I'll be unhappy too. So it makes sense if I can preempt that by getting them whatever they need. I get it for them, make them happy, and then I can relax. Yeah.
Well, that's good. At least I know who to go to.
It's self-preservation. I can help you. Whatever. Let me think. What do you need? Well, we can talk more about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
What I would like to know is what are you doing right now? In general.
You're not the only one who wants to know that. Thanks for asking right here in front of the folks. And I don't. What I'm doing right now, gosh, I'm here on your show. I'm a writer who doesn't write. And what happens to a writer who doesn't write is you become a waiter. So, and it's actually it makes perfect sense because you just change the R to an A and you have writer, waiter. And I'm also waiting to write. So.
Are you waiting for the inspiration?
I have the inspiration every day. The problem with the inspiration is that the inspiration only takes place
in your head.
That's exactly right. And you have to sit at the keyboard, and you actually have to bang away. What mostly happens to me is I have the inspiration. It only requires a little bit of inspiration, but as Woody Allen, I think, said, it's 1% inspiration and 99%
perspiration.
Right.
Is that Woody Allen?
I think I saw him attributed with that quote. But
I heard that quote someplace, but it was not him.
Really?
But I guess a lot of people
I think
adapted
Abraham Lincoln said it then.
Or George Washington.
Or George Washington, or Nietzsche.
George Washington slept here.
So he slept here? Here?
Well, I know he slept somewhere.
You're really testing my resolve and my restraint right now because So I just
You were talking about a children's book you were going to write.
Oh yeah, that was that. Now I'm embarrassed to admit this, but it was 2 years ago when I was on your show, just under 2 years ago.
Really?
And I looked at the YouTube video, and all of the stuff that I said I was doing, I've done none of it, including losing weight, which I wanted to do. I've gained weight. So I'm here once again to proclaim.
You were looking for girls.
I was looking for. Jesus, Judy. Okay, I was looking. Well, yeah,
Maybe
still
you're
looking for
gonna find
girls.
some
I was looking for
boys?
no boys. I have a boy. I have a 7-year-old. He was 5 then. He's 7 now.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I like him young.
Well, at least that's not a myth. that's,
A myth.
your son, I mean, he was 5 and now he's 7.
Now he's 7. No,
There's
he's no
nothing-
myth. He's real. In fact, I'm on my way to pick him up this afternoon.
I
He's
know.
and he's becoming.
Is he taking after you?
God, I hope not. God, I hope not. He's a much smarter, better kid than that.
Yeah.
He's a nice combination of his mother and myself. She's German and as such very regimented and very motivated. And so those are two things that I don't have. And he has those things. And at the same time, he's also got my, I guess he's comfortable with people. So that's
I
what I
happen
give him.
to like you. I think you are very vibrant person.
Is that
with
right?
Personality, and you wear life on your shoulder like a light coat.
You're buying this act then. I guess. You believe that?
Yeah, you have a lot of potential. You just need a little help.
I'm 46 years old.
I
46.
I would like for you-
potential. I understand, but potential at 46 is almost like a 4-letter word. Oh yeah, it's a tough one. But you know what? Potential and a token. Well, listen, I'm aging myself. And a Metro card will get you on the subway. You know, potential means nothing. You know, so
Gosh.
you know,
So what have you done
what have I done?
after
Oh my
you
God, what have I
came out
done?
of school besides being a waiter?
Okay, God, I've done so many different things. I told you last time that I ran a couple of golf tournaments, professional golf tournaments. That was kind of a big deal. I wrote a bunch of scripts when I was living in Hollywood, and I used to work as an extra in Hollywood. That was a lot of fun. There's some great stories there. Oh my God. I lived in Hollywood for 10, almost 12 years, and I worked as an extra on commercials, mostly commercials, sometimes some films, but they actually pay more money
In commercials.
for commercials, believe it or not. And for film, it's about $40 a day. Commercials, it's $150 a day.
Wow.
And you sit around with, I was not in the union. There's 2 unions. There's SAG and AFTRA.
Uh-huh.
And you don't necessarily want to be in the union. You get paid a little better, but you have to pay union fees. Anyway, it's a long, complicated story. But the bottom line is I was what is called a non-union extra. And if there's a ladder of success in Hollywood, this is below the first rung. This is not even on the ladder. I mean, you are, I was told by a friend of mine, she was a camera operator, and she said that when you guys aren't around, we describe you, you're basically a prop that eats. That's all you are, okay? And so I was in Hollywood writing and working in restaurants, and also augmenting my income as a non-union extra on many different commercials. I played a 1950s pre-Castro Cuban, newspaper reader. Believe it or not, I played Cuban in a commercial. I played a water boy. That commercial, actually, I should say, was for Taco Bell, was for the little Taco Bell dog. So, and I want to tell you that I was treated worse than the dog. When the dog arrived on set,
Yeah.
they told us, don't look at the dog, don't talk to the dog, don't. And that's when you really get an idea of where your life is headed, when another human being is telling you you have to treat this canine with more respect than he's treating you. Then you really have to take a look at yourself and saying, what have I become? What kind of choices have led me to this place in my life? Yeah, so a non-union extra. I played a water boy on a football set, which was a lot of fun. We shot in the Los Angeles Coliseum at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, so I got to see a lot of the behind the scenes action in Hollywood, which is I still find fascinating. So that's
Everything about Hollywood is fascinating.
everything about Hollywood. Is that okay? What do you find fascinating about it? Who are your favorite?
It's a dream world. Nothing is real.
That's true.
It's an escape.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and it's one of the last things that America seems to do better than the rest of the world. We import entertainment around the world. We still seem to, whereas German cars and Japanese cars and computers and electronic gadgets can be made as well as anywhere in the world, as well as they're made in America. It seems there's something still about Hollywood. We still seem to make the dreams, like you said,
Yeah,
a little bit better than
Hollywood.
most
You
people.
just said the word Hollywood, and everybody looks up.
Right, right. Yep, that's true. But living there is another matter entirely. It's
Yeah.
you get to see some of the some stuff you might. The one thing I took away from it is that oftentimes great things happen to terrible people in Hollywood, and that was the thing that drove me the most nuts. Is that the more of a low life, low down, two-timing, flim-flamming person you are, the more likely you are to make it in Hollywood. Because if you're willing to just compromise don't get me wrong, I was willing to sell out to anybody, but nobody ever offered. So anyway.
So you recently developed an interest in becoming a producer like I am
Yes.
here at LTB.
Well, I hate to tell you this, Judy, but it was
Why?
based on our show. I thought it went so well. I was so happy with it. The first time, maybe it was just a beginner's luck, but I was so happy with it and that I thought, I'll give this a shot. Maybe I'll do a little talk show like Judy and see what happens. So
Why not?
why not? It's exactly right. So, but I'm finding out here the second time it's not quite as easy.
It's not quite as easy.
That's right. You make it look easy. See, that's you.
Yes.
Yes.
What about that show you did with those two,
Dottie and Diane.
Dottie and Diane? I
Dottie
don't
and
know
Diane.
how many people are familiar with
Oh,
that. It
yeah.
is two guys dressed up as girls.
They were men?
You were with them, or I remember some affiliation you had with them.
Yes. Dottie and Diane are good friends of mine. And I can't take a whole lot of credit for that show. I was involved in the beginning of it. I'd like to say my role was supposed to be writing and directing, but trying to direct those two gals was not so easy. They don't take direction very good. And I'm not very good at giving direction to women in my life. I've never been very successful at that. I'm looking for a woman to be directing me. But in any case, Dottie and Diane.
But you wrote for them.
I wrote a couple of skits for them. But again, they're not very good at remembering dialogue, and they're not very good at following direction. And the stuff that I would write, as soon as it was in the can, as soon as we shot it, they'd say that they wrote it. So, yeah, they took credit for everything. They unless you were on camera with them, they didn't want to hear from you. They didn't want to know anything about what you were doing. But they're very funny. They're both wildly talented comedic improv actors. And but unfortunately, life has a way of getting in the way. And Dottie's had twins, and Diane is, as I was telling you, she's writing for the Sag Harbor Express now as a man. So, yeah.
How odd as a man.
Yeah.
What is he writing?
He is writing a human interest column, which I can't make heads or tails of. I don't understand the first word, the middle of it, the end of it. But
It's too complicated.
Yeah, it's very complicated. He's clinically insane, so there's no. He's dangerously clinically insane. So that's why he likes to dress up as a woman. So not that everybody who dresses up as a woman is clinically insane.
Well, he just did that for the show.
Well, we like to think that and say that, but I'm not 100% sure, to tell you the truth. I think he's dressed up as a woman without cameras in the.
Well, you mentioned your mother a lot. What would she like you to do?
What would she like me to do? Anything,
Yes.
anything. She'd like me to get married, settle down, find a nice woman, and
Yeah, that's a mother's
get a
dream.
job teaching and do more writing and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
But she's a very supportive mom, and I
that's
should probably
what-
talk about her last because I am 46. But she's great. She's like you, captivated by Hollywood and entertainment, and she's got a great writing talent, great dialogue. She's smart, but
She's
she never gives
also a
herself
writer?
credit. She doesn't call herself a writer, but she could have been. She should have been. So yeah.
But she's still writing.
No, She writes crossword puzzles now. I mean, she fills in the spots. She doesn't create them. She writes. Yeah. So no, she's not. Yeah.
Well, you said you're the baby. That means how many siblings you have?
Brother and a sister.
One brother, one sister?
Yep. We talked about them last time. Let's not talk about them at all. No, I'm just kidding. But my sister was upset last time because I apparently, when you asked what they did, I gave a long, all my brother's credentials and then said my sister's been a stay-at-home mom, when in fact, I want to remember to say this right, she's worked at length for NBC Sports and has worked also for ESPN, and lastly was working for Christie's auction house in New York City before she moved to Arizona. So she's had a long career doing a lot of the similar stuff that I do, more organizational stuff, but helping people get plane tickets if they need to go here and there. It's called a unit production manager was what she did. It's extraordinarily boring, and I'm boring myself right now by even describing it, but she did it, you know, so that was for you,
So
Liz.
she did a lot of different things.
Yeah.
The reason I was asking, from a little I know of them, is that didn't they inspire you or try to push you in some direction?
Well, I'm an immovable object. I can't be pushed in any direction. You know, many better people than them have tried to push me, but no, you know what? They've all been very, very helpful and supportive of whatever interests I have. So yeah.
And I heard you say before the show that if you're planning on going to Florida, however, you may stay here to do a show.
Yes, I was. You know, it's vacation time's coming up for the kids. So when my son's actually headed to Costa Rica with his mom, and I was going to go down to. I don't know about you, Judy. What do you think about the winters? How do you cope with East End winters? How many winters have you
been here?
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah. I can't stand it. I'm over it. I'm sick of it. I moved back 10 years ago. I grew up in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And you know, winters never bothered me. Summer was always coming. But now, the older I get, I moved back here 10 years ago. And for the first few years, winter, I welcomed it. I liked it. And I love the snow and everything like that. And we have had a very mild winter.
Yeah.
It's desolate. It's dreary. It's too dark. It's really the darkness that gets
Yeah,
to me.
I hate that too.
Yeah.
But I'm always saying, oh, it's going to get lighter every day.
So you're an optimist.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not.
Yeah, that's bad. See,
yeah, I call this suicide
you and I
season.
will have to spend more time together.
I start tying
Yes.
nooses at this time of the year. I start, you know, it's
How is your diet?
Jesus. Well, I eat everything I can get my hands on, and
Still
anything that's not
lot of sugar.
as much sugar as I can possibly consume, and yeah, I eat like I'm 17 years old, and yeah, it's terrible.
That's what you said the last time
Yeah.
I spoke with you.
It's still true. I have no personal. I have absolutely no self-control, none whatsoever.
Well, what do you have?
What do I have?
On a positive side.
On a positive side, I'm brilliant, and I'm well liked by my peers. I don't know. What do you have on a positive side? I got a nice car in the driveway. I got a nice Volvo station wagon. I don't know. Great 7-year-old son. Nice glass of water. These sneakers fit nice.
And you have me as a friend.
I've got Judy Sleed as my friend. Yeah.
Yes. See that?
What have you been doing? Have you finished your play?
Yes.
Yes. Tell me about it. The play is the thing, of course.
It sure is. Yes. There's a new theater company. By the way, over here, right here, in these premises, something Playhouse, and I give them my script, and they're reading it, and
Nice.
hopefully they're going to produce it next season.
That's great.
Yeah, it's the musical. It's called Georgie Day.
Georgie Day. You wrote a musical?
Yes.
Did you write the music for it as well?
The script, the music, and the words. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So
That's
just
impressive.
Just remember Georgie Day.
Georgie Day.
Yeah.
Can you give me a little synopsis, what it's about, or?
Well, I'm Hungarian, so it would be about Hungarians.
It's about Hungarians, okay.
Yeah. How Hungarians do when they come they emigrate from Hungary to the United States.
Uh-huh.
And there's a generation gap with the parents and the children. The parents are all staunch Hungarians, and the children become Americanized.
Right.
That's what it
And how do you handle that? Is that because that's an oft-told tale of immigrants in America, where
Yes.
where the immigrant, the first generation to land on these shores maintains their old world connection, and
Yeah.
that the younger generation has to assimilate and has
Well,
to.
that's the conflict.
That huge conflict, sure.
So the older one, the parents want to go back, and the children want to stay here.
Uh-huh. So the parents, they want to go back. They want to go back to Hungary.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Huh. See, I thought that they emigrated and they were happy to be here, but
Well, they emigrated because they wanted to make money,
right.
because they lost everything.
And there's no money left in America, so that's a problem.
No, but there was money, so they were.
Yeah.
They decided to stay here like for 5 years and make money.
Right.
And when they had enough money, go back and buy everything, they land back that they lost.
Right,
to
right.
taxes.
You know who you see doing that a lot around here right now is the Central American, South
Yes.
Americans. They will come and work and send all their money back, and once they've made the money, they go right back.
Yes.
And I, you know, it's a huge hot button issue in politics today, but I actually admire the work ethic, the family ethic of the group, and their desire to return home. Once they've made their money, they all want to go back to their home country.
Did you ever think about becoming a politician? As a final note, because we're out of time.
Oh my God.
So with that, you think about it.
I will.
It's a great option for the future.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
A writer, a politician, and a waiter. Which one you gonna choose?
Oh my God. Judy, I think this might be
And
my
we
final
go-
show.
And then, and then people will watch this. They're gonna send you in letters, giving you advice which career you should
Just what I need.
choose.
More advice.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Well, I want to thank you for coming. I would like to thank my underwriters, without whom I couldn't have this show, especially my good friend Irving Ackerman in California, who's been sending me money.
Oh,
And
does he need any more friends?
does he? No, I do.
Thank you, Judy.
Okay. And I just checked with the office to see how much money I have left, and it's getting down, so I have to.
And if by chance